Hi, Edward. How are you?
How you doing, Kate? Good to see you. Happy to be here with Life of Emerald.
Thank you for joining. Hi, everyone. I am the founder of Life of Emerald. My name is Kate Emerald. I have our guest here. His name is Edward. He was born in Massachusetts, received a bachelor's in science in business management from University of Massachusetts, master's degree in international business administration from the School of International Training. He's also received a master's degree in Montessori primary and secondary education from Barry University in Florida. He has volunteered for Peace Corps in Bolivia, South America from 1993 to 96. He's worked in healthcare for 25 years. He's a father of two beautiful daughters. He speaks fluent Spanish and English. And his spiritual background, he started practicing yoga and meditation in 1992. For 25 years, meditation practices he encountered, and they include Tibetan Buddhism, Taoist, Vipassana, Raja, Transcendental meditations. He is a certified advanced Hatha yoga instructor as of 2011. And since 2004, he taught yoga in Florida and San Carlos in San Francisco Bay Area. He initiated into Ahana shamanistic practices of Hawaii in 2014, master Reiki trainer and hypnotherapist in 2014, received transmission as a master Tao calligraphy practitioner in 2017. He received the honor of becoming a Tao song, Tao dance practitioner in 2018, received certification as an advanced medical Qigong therapist 2018, received Divine Healing Hands from Master Sha in 2014, and Tao Hans in 2019. He became a Kuan Yin lineage holder in 2019, and he practices Tai Chi, Qigong, as well as yoga and meditation for fun. He is currently becoming a Tao leader for service and action with the Love, Peace, and Harmony Foundation. Wow, Edward, welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Okay, so I'm going to jump right into the first question. Edward, please share with our audience how you contribute your talent and time to the world.
That's a really good question. It touches my heart and soul. My time as a contribution to the world is being able to provide service to those that are in suffering. And suffering can be presented in so many different ways. But the ways in which I emphasize most to help those people that are in that suffering is to work with them through, these different modalities that you heard in my background. But it's mainly to clear away certain things that we call Shen Qi Jing blockages. And these Shen Qi Jing blockages basically are things that manifest from our soul. Master Shah, who has taught me about being a Tao servant, basically emphasizes that Shen is the soul, heart, and mind. And when we have negative messages in either one of those three at that level, what happens is that these negative messages then move towards a place what we call is in the energetic level. And then the energetic level, that's basically addressed by traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine does acupuncture. They actually do medical qigong. They work with herbs, and they work with tuina, with massage, but that's at the energetic level. And at the Jing level, basically that's at the matter level where we're talking about ligaments, tendons, muscles, bones, the cellular makeup, the organs, the systems of the body. So what I'm emphasizing to work with my clientele and making a contribution in the world is working at the Shen level, working at the soul level, working at the heart level, opening our hearts to be a receiver of positive messages. And then allowing that mind, that consciousness of ourselves to expand even further beyond what we know as ourselves being the ego. So the thing is, working with people to make a contribution is being able to remove those negative messages at the Shen level, at that soul, heart, and mind level, so that the energy is clearer, the meridians function appropriately, like we do in traditional Chinese medicine. And then as you work on that soul, heart, and mind, as the energy flows and it's smoother, what happens is we begin to balance what we know as our Jing level, the matter level, the physical level. That no longer is in a disease or in a sick state. Because if we have a physical sickness or dis-ease, it's because of these negative messages. And these negative messages start at the soul, heart, and mind level. That's where the contribution is being made now in this new consciousness. We've become familiar with, right? We've become familiar with mind and, over matter. What we're taking this to is a little step higher. It's called soul over matter. It's a little bit deeper.
Wow. Yes, as I'm listening to you, the symptoms we experience can be cured on a deeper level rather than trying to fix the symptoms in the body. But it sounds also like metaphysical healing is taking place with Shen, and it's time for the world to get to know this method of healing. Perhaps, in your opinion, do you think we have, as a humanities, not open to Shen or Qi in terms of going there to healing? What is your opinion?
I believe that we are going there. I mean, it's inevitable. Science and the modern medical system has gotten to us to where we are right now. I've worked in the pharmaceutical industry and I've worked in healthcare here in the United States. And that's not the only type of system that actually functions that brings about healing. We all know this. We know that integrative types of approaches have a significant impact on healing. We also know that there are different approaches that come from different cultural backgrounds. Science is limited. We have science, but science is limited. Science is limited to knowledge. The soul is wisdom. This is something that's eternal. The soul, as Lao Tzu has said back 5,000 years ago, Lao Tzu is a Chinese philosopher, a very ancient soul, very high wisdom. But what Lao Tzu was indicating was that in the cosmos that we look up at every night, there's this kind of blurred condition. And he just put this name on it called Tao. Now, it could have been any other name. He called it Tao. If he put 8 on there, or if he put Shu on there, that's what it would have been called, okay? But he used the name Tao, and the Tao is basically the word translates to into Western is into a path, okay? But the thing is consciousness has evolved to where we are today as human beings. Science, unless it actually expands its limitations beyond what we know of knowledge today, we're destined, as we can see right now. Just look out at what the world looks like today. Destruction, environmental degradation. We have economic systems that are breaking. We have tribes and cultures fighting and killing each other. This is the results of science. Okay, that's not causing us to move past what we need to move past. It's not a good scene. Science has gotten us to this place where we are right now. 108 of the Nobel Peace Prize winners, not just peace, but Nobel laureates have said and stated, unless we start looking at ancient wisdom, science is about to wipe out human existence. So we have to go higher than what we know from science. We have to go higher than what we know from our own human knowledge. Human knowledge is only 10, it lasts for 10 decades. It lasts for 10 years, maybe 1 decade, and then it changes and it shifts, right? But the evolution of our science to where we are today is not bringing about the best results for the human existence. It's bringing about things that it's bringing about the human demise. So as we move up into that level of the soul, and we get into the level of what love, peace, and harmony is, love, peace, and harmony, that brings about a harmony and a coexistence. It brings about bringing souls together, bringing things into balance. These are the types of concepts that are not just lasting for 1 decade. These types of concepts are going to last, from what I understand, for the next 15,000 years in the Solite era. And that Solite era, according to Master Shah, has just recently started in 2008. And these eras last for 15,000 years. We got 15,000 years coming up to shift what science has brought about, to bring about a whole different existence for the human existence, for us as human beings, incorporating love, peace, and harmony. And the 10 das that Master Shah brings to us, which is basically virtues. That's the level of consciousness we're moving into. We're getting glimpses of it. People are just recognizing that meditation is very important for mind and matter. But we're also recognizing too, people are opening up, awareness is growing, consciousness is expanding. And it's going to bring about the shift that we actually need. We need a tipping point. It'll take some time. In the Western culture, it took 15, almost 20 years for people to get the understanding of what meditation is. In the West, we call it mindfulness, right? Okay. In the East, they call it meditation. I don't care what name it is, but that's the name that, we have coined it here in the West, mindfulness. Well, the soul, if you want to call it spiritual, you can call it spiritual. You can even call it quantum physics, because that's what quantum physics calls the soul, is basically it's a message. It's information. So from a quantum scientific viewpoint, and I'll show you this right now, in her book here, Tao Science, Master Ru Lin Shu has written a book with Master Shah to explain from a quantum physical level exactly what the soul is, exactly how this transformation is going to occur. And in his recent book in here, Tao Chang and Tao Calligraphy, bringing this type of healing down to earth from the Tao through calligraphy is going to bring about such a transformation, because Tao calligraphy is Tao Chang, and Tao Chang is a field. So when we talk about fields, we're talking about quantum fields. We're bringing energetic fields of positive information through the calligraphy to Mother Earth to transform health, relationships, finances, and more. So the thing is, it's here. It exists now. It's going to take some time for the human understanding and for minds to relinquish what we think we know, and then adopt and adapt to what we know from wisdom as opposed to what we know from knowledge and science. It'll take some time. There's some old thought and old mindsets that are going to have to relinquish. And the thing is look at Mother Earth right now. Climate change, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, human beings polluting the planet. unless we make a shift, the existence that we know today is not going to sustain. So what we have to bring is love, peace, and harmony to Mother Earth, not only for human beings, bringing love, peace, and harmony to the existence of animals, plants, oceans, forests, all of existence on this planet that is aligned with nature. That's where we are moving towards. Soul aligning with nature, human beings aligning with each other, and creating that harmony and balance with each other. Because we live in a yin-yang world. That's where we are. And in a yin-yang world, we have to face the negative pollution that has been created by man. But we have opportunities and modalities to actually clear away that negativity and move it towards positive information through what I just mentioned to you in Tao science, Tao calligraphy, and in Tao Chang.
Yeah, thanks for Edward. That's a handful of information and wisdom.
Yeah,
And
it is. You asked for it. I'm going to hand it over to you and give it to you all, because that's how my teacher works. My teacher taught me this. He takes the highest wisdom. He doesn't hold any onto it for himself. He shares it because he knows it's time. It is that time. Mother Earth is going through a transition. We have to be prepared to help Mother Earth, humanity, animals, plants, and all stars, galaxies, and universes. That transition on Mother Earth is going to help all universes and galaxies, not just this one planet, because there's countless planets.
yes, I met I met Edward and in Master Sha's center in San Francisco, and I received the Jindang activation. Also worked with the Shen energy, the quantum physics field, to help me with the blockages in my life. And specifically, Edward helped me with depression and more. And surprisingly, with time, the symptoms and are all gone. And I am speaking from an experience that this practice, ancient practice, does work by experience. And you mentioned the Tao calligraphy in Master Sha's center in San Francisco. There are calligraphy of frames that are hung up on the wall in all sides of the room. And when you enter the center, you feel this energy, the vibration, quantum field, if you will, that is serene and like gold if I were to put it in color, and it's nurturing like a mother to a child. And once I step out of the center, there is a different type of energy in the San Francisco city. And yeah, what you're saying it makes sense from my personal experience. And Albert Einstein, he's a great scientist because he also honored spirituality. So spirituality and science is time to merge together. And the way we do this is to really unconditionally share what we know in terms of wisdom, ancient tradition, and knowledge, and help ascension of Earth through small efforts, medium efforts. And I really particularly like your mention, Edward, about Earth is just one planet out of many, many galaxies and universe. And so it's a cue for us, all of us, to look beyond our small suffering and work from the high top bottom, if you will, and get to the root of it to the best extent possible in our knowledge and wisdom. Thanks for sharing this. So I want to inquire about your personal story and how it shaped your worldview today. What led you to the healing journey? our healing practice?
Sure. So, back in the day in 1992, I was in Brattleboro, Vermont, and I was completing a master's degree in international business administration. I got introduced to yoga, started taking a yoga class on Thursday nights with one of Amrit Desai's instructors. And he also mentioned that maybe I would like to get into meditation. And so about 2 hours away, there was a Tibetan Buddhist retreat center from the lineage of Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. It's called Kamacholing. So I started going up there for their retreats. They had Shambhala retreats. They taught you how to do Tibetan Buddhist meditations, and I was hooked. Meditation brought to me what I had been searching for my whole life, is being able to settle my mind, find that place in my heart, and then be able to be in the present moment. So when I started working at, doing the meditation, there were so many different techniques, and I guess that was probably my first introduction to, these meditative practices. So when you say your healing journey, that was the beginning, just the beginning. In the biography I furnished for you, it's just gone in so many different directions. I've worked through yogic practices, the Vedantic practices, studied with some significant masters in Vedantism. I'm a lineage holder of Master Shivananda. Very deep practices that I learned from Yogi Hari when I was in Florida, as is Yogi Hari's ashram. I've learned Huna shamanistic practices from kahunas in Hawaii, which is a method of it's an ancient method of shamanistic practices to use light and symbols, very similar to what we know today is in Reiki. I've learned many of the symbols from Reiki, and at the same time, I just keep progressing and learning more and more conscious understanding about how healing works. Now, in my professional career, I've worked in pharmaceutical industry and healthcare. That's Western medicine that I'm talking about. I honor Western medicine. I honor the pharmaceutical industry. They're doing the best they can with that limited scientific knowledge that they have. You have to honor them. They're healing some, they're healing most, they're doing their best, but they can't do it all. So the thing is I started venturing into the Eastern esoteric arts and started looking into traditional Chinese medicine more. And I started to learn about medical qigong. These are the practices that the Taoist and shamanistic practices that predated acupuncture. So I started learning that. And at the same time, as I started progressing, I ran into Master Sha in 2013, who has brought me into a fold of understanding about the soul. So now, having understood what Master Sha has to offer, I became a Guanyin lineage holder under Master Sha. What does that mean? Master Sha has taught us the Da Bei Zhou, which is a sacred chant, to connect with Guanyin and to bring that mantra as a healing modality. There are Buddhists that have been following Guanyin for centuries. Wherever you go throughout, the Asian continent, you're gonna find that people practice Buddhism and follow Guanyin. And I've been so fortunate that Master Sha introduced me into Guanyin and to become a lineage holder. Dao hands. Master Sha has taught Dao hands. And Dao calligraphy. This calligraphy here, in ancient times, dancing, chanting in ancient times were the healing modalities that predated acupuncture and herbs. You know, when you look at the radicals in Chinese radicals, the word medicine and dance are almost exactly the same. Dancing, chanting, as what you had just mentioned when you walked into the Dao Chung field in Master Sha's San Francisco Dao Chung. You felt that healing and vibration. You felt and could feel the light. You knew the frequency was shifting. It altered the internal connection of who you are. That's the same thing that the Dao Hands offers. That's the same thing that Dao Dance offers. And when I chant a chant like the Da Bei Jiu, it's a healing. That frequency and vibration is going out to heal this individual in front of me, but it's not me doing it. I'm calling in saints. I'm calling in my heavens teams. I'm calling in Guan Yin specifically, Jesus, Mary, whoever you believe in. Call in who you believe in. Cultural differences are everywhere, but it all comes from the same place. It comes from a source. It comes from the divine. This isn't one religious methodology that we're talking about. This isn't even religion. This is connecting directly with the source and bringing to Mother Earth these healing modalities like this. This here would be recognized as Shi. Go ahead, repeat after me. Si.
Si.
Yeah, this is for the Sanjiao. The Sanjiao basically means this area from my chest up, that's the upper jiao. And then from my chest right here to my navel is called the middle jiao. And then from my navel down towards my legs is called the lower jiao. This calligraphy right here, when I chant this and trace this for my clients, is clearing away, as I had told you before, the Shen Qi Jing blockages in these areas so that these people can heal from things that our modern medicine that can only deal with matter cannot heal. And today we know that this works. Under Master Sha, his top teacher, one of his top teachers, Peter Hudova, a medical doctor, neurosurgeon from Vancouver, Canada, now runs, it's called the Sha Research Foundation. He has hard data on healing and transforming through scientific methods of hundreds, if not thousands, of these types of modalities that we're using with this type of method, using Dao calligraphy and Dao Chang. Hard data.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can count my data as a contribution.
Absolutely.
I have a book, The Greatest Love. I got this from a Master Child Center in San Francisco. And it's simple, it's easy to carry around. And in here, there is the calligraphy that I can trace whenever I have some blockages.
Yes.
You know, there's quite simple method for self-healing from anger. And anger is part of the blockages, I believe. And you know, you shared a lot of information that's merging the metaphysical wisdom, ancient wisdom, and scientific inquiry. And I am hoping that this message can penetrate into the scientific community, as well as, you know, the artists, the dancers, everyone who's seeking the one thing. And the way in which we seek and try to articulate what we found is through the cultural landscape we inherit, through the food we eat, the family we are born into. And you mentioned Jesus, Mother Mary. Recently I've encountered on YouTube Shiva, and Kuan Yin and Buddha and Allah, all this religious description of who we look up to. There is no point of tit-tat arguing about who's better or not, because really we're wasting energy on that. but rather instead, let's encompass, let's go to the bottom of it. What is humanity trying to achieve? We're looking for the deeper meaning of life through looking in us, and also sometimes externalizing the masters like Jesus and Mother Mary from the outside of our source. And at the same time, it's really in us and all around us, and externally and internally. It's hard to describe with limited language, right? English, also Korean, any language is a limited tool that can get us to finding truth, but these information goes beyond words and all our cultural understanding. So the fundamental thing we need to focus next chapter in our earth evolution is love, harmony, and peace within ourselves, within everybody we relate to. And that's a fantastic evolutionary next step. And I'm excited for Earth. I hope it takes just a couple of years, you know.
We don't know. The truth of the matter is we don't know. We do know is this, is that Mother Earth has been around for billions of years. Humans, we last what? Our lifespan is maybe 100 years if we're lucky. 80 on average, things of that nature. And from what I understand too, is that human existence on this planet has come and gone over those billions of years. So the thing is unless we're willing to work with Mother Nature, and get back to nature, get into nature, not back, into nature, and synchronize with nature, so that we meld together, we bring things together. That is the way in which we know for sure that this transition is going to be shorter, less destructive. And we know too is that, just look out anywhere we go. Mankind is suffering. Mankind is suffering physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The sooner we can get this type of positive message, the sooner we can have this type of love, peace, and harmony permeating every culture, every continent, every city, every town, every school, every business. That's when the tipping point is really going to happen, and the human existence will not look anything like it does right now. Nothing like this. Because we can build it upon the foundation of love, peace, and harmony. Whereas in the past, if we look back, we didn't build where we are today off of that foundation. So the thing is to step it up and build off of a foundation that we know can sustain for all of humanity, for all of our existence, for the whole planet, for stars, galaxies, and universes, for all of the water, for all of the forests, for all of the land, for all of the animals, for all of the insects, for all of the birds. We're just as much a part of that as they are a part of us. And once we get past this misunderstanding of separate, and we start melding together as oneness, that's where we're moving towards. That's where we're going. And we know we're moving in that direction. Man, there's so many people becoming aware. It might not just be with Master Sha. There's so many people that are waking up. So many people waking up. It's so true. And they know we're stuck in this matrix. And there's a lot of people waking up. But we're not going to do this in a way that we've seen in the past. We're going to take a Gandhi approach. The Gandhi approach is we're going to do this peacefully. And we may appear to be disobedient, but we're disobedient for the right purpose, for truth. And the thing is, Gandhi was able to expel the intruder, or the United Kingdom, let's say, without firing one shot. They left on their own. It can be done. Martin Luther King, the same way. He left such a lasting impression. That wasn't just about for an African American culture. That was for all races in this country, as well as gender, to be recognized not by the color of our skin and not by the religion that you might think is the best, nor is it about me being male or female. No, no. This is an even playing field. We all have feelings. Every human being has feelings. That's one thing we can connect with. We're all equipped with the same physical, and we're all equipped with a soul. It's finding those things that we come together with, like Gandhi and Martin Luther King did. That's where we're moving to. That's where this consciousness is actually moving towards, a oneness consciousness, bringing things together, to meld together. It's happening. It's happening. Speed is not the necessity at this time.
Interesting.
It's going to take the time that the divine and the source and the creator knows is necessary in order to develop that love, peace, and harmony foundation. It's happening.
I am grateful for the hopeful message. It's happening. Many people are waking up and from the matrix, and the right thing in a philosophical way is to challenge the deception that we have been programmed in the matrix by finding the truth, and with the love and peace and harmony, like Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Peace at the center, love and harmony at the center, share the truth. And there's a divine timing involved in this story that you shared. And in a way, I can just surrender and do my own thing, founded in love, peace, and harmony. And there's no whatsoever place for worry. I'm going to jump into the fifth question. We're going to jump to the fifth question because you've shared so much rich information here. Could you share one simple, practical thing that our audience can implement in their lives right now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One thing. If I would share one thing, and it's been throughout the whole thing, is chant love, peace, and harmony. You can download this chant from Master Shah's website, the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation. It's free. I'll say that again. It's free. Free love, peace, and harmony. Chanting. And then if you make a $15 donation, they'll send you a device. You can play that love, peace, and harmony device in your own home. When you place that love, peace, harmony device in your home, you are shifting your surroundings and environment to a frequency of love, peace, and harmony. So not only by the chanting and the vibration and the frequency is coming from you, but also if you have that device in your surroundings, it's coming towards you at the same time. So if I'm to say, if there's one thing that I can suggest, one practice, can I share it with you now?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Of course, yes.
Very good. So what I would suggest is this, can I offer a blessing for a condition to you, to anybody in your audience, to you as well? Is that okay?
Absolutely, Edward.
So what I suggest to you is this. just sit in your chair, make sure your spine is straight. It might have to be off of the back of the chair, but that's okay because you want the energy to flow through the spinal cord and the spinal column. Remember, these healings and these blessings can be done on a remote, and anything that's on the soul level, there is no time, there is no space. So your audience that comes on 10 days from now, 20 days from now, 5 years from now, will still get the same effect of this blessing and this healing. Isn't that awesome?
Amazing. It's awesome.
Awesome. So sit with your spine straight. This is body power. We're going to do soul power next. We're going to say hello to the divine soul song of love, peace, and harmony. Please come to this chanting of love, peace, and harmony to offer Kate, as well as anyone in her audience that may listen to this recording, offer them a healing, a blessing, and the removal of Shen Qi Jing blockages as appropriate for a health condition, maybe for a relationship that they're going through, or possibly they could be having some challenges with their finances. Pick one of those three: health, relationship, or finance, and focus in on that for a healing. The next is mind power. We're going to visualize golden light. If it's a health condition, visualize golden light going inside your body, shining on that part of the body, the condition, the organ, the cell, the space between the cells. Could be a system, circulatory system, pulmonary, respiratory. It could be your lymphatic system, whatever it may be for health. If it's a relationship, see the visualization of golden light in the relationship with that one person. See them smiling with their heart open with love, peace, and harmony. Allow the golden light to fill your relationship with that person. And if it's for finance, see the golden coins of the divine showering you with love, peace, and harmony, and plenty of currency, plenty of money, plenty of finances, not only as a wealth mechanism, but a mechanism so that you can share this type of consciousness with others. Chanting power, sound power. I'm going to chant this beautiful love, peace, harmony chant. Chanting begin. Turn on all my treasures. Turn on all my downloads. Turn on all of my love, peace, harmony, Tao song, and Tao dance to amplify the chanting. Start. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Soul language. Lula, lula, li. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Li, lula, lula, li, lula. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. unity. Join hearts and souls together. Peace and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Just remain there for a moment with your eyes closed. Bask in heaven's shining of golden light. Thank you, the divine. Thank you, the source. Thank you, the Tao. We love you and we honor you and we appreciate you. Thank you for coming to this healing blessing to remove any Shen-Qi-Jing blockages as appropriate. We love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. Gong song means respectfully return to those realms from which you came from. How?
I just have to laugh. You're thank you for such a blessing. And I am hoping that whoever listens to this message in the transmission that you just did, that they find love, peace, and harmony in their daily life and elevate some or many of their suffering as they listen with their heart and in trust and faith that goes beyond any logical mind filter, but goes straight to the heart and trusting that you're here because you want to heal, because you have self-compassion. Thank you, Edward. Oh man, so this is great. So the last question for our audience, Edward, could you share the best way for our audience can contact you and reach out to you? And whatever you provide, I'm going to link it in our video on my lifeofemerald.com website.
Sure. So I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I have a website. It's called Quantum Shift Dynamics. That's www. Exactly how it's spelled, quantumshiftdynamics.com. That link will give you all the contact information you need so that if you need more information, and remember, just like this healing and blessing that was offered of love, peace, and harmony, I work with clients on a remote basis, Skype. It's the constant cadence of the meeting, as well as I can issue treatments and procedures that are necessary from a medical qigong aspect, practices that are necessary, chants. I can offer healings and blessings with Tao calligraphy. I'm a master practitioner of Tao calligraphy. As a master practitioner of Tao calligraphy, I can offer these healing and blessings. I can offer Guanyin lineage holder, crown chakra blessings. And I can also offer your clients, should they want to make contact, Tao hands blessings. and healings for the same types of health conditions, relationships, and finances. These all three of these, if I haven't mentioned something or a condition or something that you're suffering from right now, don't fret. Just because I didn't mention it doesn't necessarily mean that soul healing isn't going to work for it. Because soul healing, like I said before, it bypasses time and space. And what that does is it allows us to work with each other from a distance, but at the same time, we can work with your ancestors. We can work with your relationships, and we can work with any health conditions as long, because this is how it really works. Kate, 50% is done by heaven. I work with heaven. I work with the source. I work with the Tao. But the other 50% will be the chanting, the practices, the treatments, and the procedures that I will offer those clients so that they can self-heal themselves. That's what we want to do. As Master Sha says, I can heal myself, you can heal yourself. Together, we can heal the world.
Yes, thank you for sharing your contact information and your website. I will definitely share this on my website, lifeofemerald.com. And the 50% of healing is done through heaven and 50% is through chanting. It sounds like we have to meet the heaven halfway by our free will and our self-compassion, the willingness to heal deeper within ourselves. So it's a balancing act. We're co-creating with the universe. And I very much appreciate your presence in our studio and throughout throughout the time we met. We got to know each other through healing modalities and dialogues about philosophy and ancient tradition and wisdom. I really appreciate your presence at this time on Earth, Edward. Thank you.
I appreciate you too, Kate. We miss you over here. And if you ever venture back to San Francisco, and I know you will, you know, you're home, you have a place to visit, and our Master Sha Tao Healing Center is always open for your heart to come and spread the message of Life of Emerald as well.
Thank you for that. I am going to trust the heavens on whereabout I'm going to be serving in the world. And definitely, I want to travel the world, and perhaps I return to San Francisco and meet all sorts of amazing people. Yeah. Yeah, so this is where we end our session. Stay in touch and have a blessed day, Edward.
Thank you. Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.